Hey everybody, Ron here, recording part 5 of my desert survival. So last episode we made some progress on getting the base protected, etc. So I'm hoping to continue that trend here. I want to get the retaining wall around the power grid built first. That's the highest priority. I don't think these little pillboxes, that pillbox design, they're not working at all. I don't think they're going to work very well, so I need to remedy that. I also want to double insulate the base a bit better, so create this insulation wall around everything. For now, things are working, and I'm heading into winter, so it's going to be easier, but as I'm heading back into summer, I don't want situations where everything in the freezer spoils. You know, or I have heat stroke inside. That would suck. Alright, so let's get some cooking done. Looks good. Some training. I really want that rescue trained, but alas, it doesn't look good. And I'll need to cut probably 2 more chunks unless I fail at some of these walls. Getting close to being done. Alright, relaxing socially. Whatever's good for your mood, my friend. That's a comfortable chair. I like that. It's goodbye, I guess. When I need to do research, I'll have to remember to switch the chairs. Alright, so grabbing a few chunks. Getting that done. This will get me most of the way there. I do need to start working on my steel surplus, and I want to get the machining research, the smithing and machining research done pretty quick too. I can smith and machine for materials and break down the mechonoids. That would really help, I think. So this will be my last granite block for a little while. I'm not going to need any more granite for a bit. I'm actually going to need to mine this out and replace it with granite, but that's... Oh, come on. You're so close to getting it finished. There we go. Alright, so power grid is secured, and I've got a mechonoid raid right as I fall asleep. Where is it? What's like a new stealth mechonoid? Alright, I'm going to slow time down. Oh, there it is. Okay, so... Sorry, Silver. I know. I wish I didn't have to wake you up here. But you're going to want to be up. So what I'm going to attempt to do to make these turrets worth a damn is to turn them on right as the mechonoid comes into range, which is right now. This is how I envisioned it working, but getting those turrets on in time is a little tough. At least I can repair them in relative safety. I'm not risking a whole lot here. Maybe I don't want to stand behind the turret that's getting shot at. I'm a little peeved that it keeps sending me mechonoids, because it's going to be tough to feed Valentina, but I think it will pay off in the long run because I'll have components and the like. Alright, flick the turrets back off. Close the... Ooh, both blades. I don't want to increase my wealth right now, so I'm just going to leave it as a body, because as long as it's downed, it won't decay, and I don't own it, so it's actually cheaper for me to just leave it there. Yep. Until I need the blades. Alright, so you're back to sleep. I disturbed your sleep. It is worth it. We got one Scyther down with no injuries and no permanent damages. That's a win in my book. And you're gonna wake up voraciously hungry. Get some training done. Valentina hold still. Alright. No joy on that training, but hey, can't all be good. Alright, so granite block. Build that wall. You'll see what I'm doing here. A lot of people in the comments have been like, "What are you doing? What kind of insulation are you setting up?" And yeah, I know it doesn't look like it makes sense. It does though. You'll just have to take my word for it and wait to see when I'm done. Because a lot of these things are like in progress, and it's not going to make any sense until it's finished. So that's what's going on with that. Alright, so now we have a door there. Lovely. We need to cut some marble. And I need to close that door. Pirate merchant. Trade ship passing by. Ah, sweet. See what I can do. Buy some more meat, maybe? It says I'm in poor health. I could buy slaves if I could afford them, which I really can't. I'll sell a machine pistol and a Molotov. Smoke pot belt. Ooh, wow, that's really cool. If I'm hit by a projectile, it creates like a smoke grenade effect. It's temporary. Oh, that's very, very cool. I can't afford it, but that's awesome. I'll have to keep an eye on that for the future. Well, that trade was less than enthralling. I didn't do very much. Guess I can flick that off. Oh, you know what? Oh no, they wouldn't even want the primitive weapons because they didn't buy the spear. Alright, before I do the inside walls, or outside walls, let's mine this first. Alright, stop trying to cut blocks. Especially given that we could end up with a local source of... Oh, but you need to eat. Soon rest. Shouldn't have canceled training Valentina. That is not a good call. But oh well. Have to wait for another day. What a desolate area I live in. I do want to turn that into a farm. Eventually. Alright, so the pirate has left. There wasn't really anything for me to buy, so I'm fine with that. Alright, get some training done. I really just want... Oh, and she fell asleep. I guess I'm a boring teacher. I really just want her to get rescue. Once she has rescue, I don't really care about haul. There's just not a lot of stuff to haul. You know. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but certainly it's not high on my list of, like, you know, necessary research to have. Alright. This freezer's a little big. We need to start working on this wall before it warms up. Don't worry about the repairs. Finish the task at hand. Nope. There we go. Now if you want to go repair or whatever. Oh, train, that works. Don't fall asleep this time. So the way this... Oh, well, it doesn't really work with that chunk there. But the way this works is this pocket. I mean, think of a thermos, right? So the way you vacuum seal a thermos is you've got your outside layer and your inside layer and a layer of, well, it's supposed to be vacuum in between so that there's very little heat transfer between the two layers of a thermos. That's kind of the way a thermos works. This works much the same. So this area here acts as that vacuum. Now, of course, it's not vacuum, but it is thermally acting as if it was. Yeah, that's the best way I can try to explain it, and it works. So, yeah, I mean, I was receiving a lot of YouTube comments saying I was insulating wrong, and there might be better ways of doing it, but this way works. Because if you look at the outside temperature of 183 and then my vacuum at 165, the vacuum is cooling it down by almost 20 degrees, which means it's a lot easier to cool off my inside because it's fighting against a 20 degrees cooler than ambient temperature. If that makes sense to you all. If that doesn't make sense, then I've done my due diligence explaining my methodologies, and I'll explain no further. So next up, so the way the uncut stone works is that it only acts as a one wall. So for me to improve the insulating properties of my farm area, I actually need to dig it up. I don't technically need to dig up the marble here. What I would need to do is dig up more of this vacuum area, but I want to put it in nice walls. I don't think that this farm area ever will be not ugly, but maybe if I have the time to smooth out some stone, I can get it closer to being not hideous. You know, that's my hope. I'll also want to move the batteries to be here, so that they're not in the extreme heat and they won't break down as often, because I don't have infinite components. And I'm running low on components as it is, and 7 more breakdowns and I would be screwed. On the 8th breakdown, at least. Item stash opportunity. I'm not even going to look at it. I haven't loaded the world tab yet in this playthrough, which means it would take a while to look at it, but I don't think I'll ever be... I'm not at the point where I can even react to an item stash opportunity yet. And for a bunch of t-shirts, it wouldn't be worth it for me anyway. Well, it's coming along, I gotta say. I mean, it's ugly now, but I'll have a chance to pretty it up soon. My cotton plants are just about done, which means sometime tomorrow I'll be able to start making that duster, which should really help. I wish my crafting skill was a little higher. I might crank out some stone blocks until my crafting skill is 6. I also want to... Ooh, cargo pods. Herbal medicine. Not bad. Stockpile zone of herbal medicine. Yeah, I'll let you train. If I could get Valentina trained in rescue, that would make a hell of a lot of difference here. If I ever get downed. There we go! It's done! Alright, so this is the cloth, or cotton I need for the cloth duster. Let's put potatoes back instead of more cotton. Alright, let's get the herbal meds before they decay. Throw them into our freezer. I think they probably, yeah, they still need to be frozen. I can always take them out because it takes 2 years in a season or something. I was just looking at 2 years in a season for them to spoil, which is not bad. That's a long time. I hope to be in a spaceship. Well, not in 2 years, but I hope to be in a spaceship eventually. But that's a good find, you know, in case I ever need to patch myself up, but it's not that important. Like muscle parasites or some lesser disease like that. Alright, so we're almost done. I mean, it looks like a mess, but all renovation projects look like messes. Oh, more cargo pods. Let's see what we got. Oh, camel hair, or mega sloth wool. This is enough for a duster as well. I only need 80 for a duster, so I can have a cloth or a mega sloth wool duster. What are the properties of mega sloth wool? Increases insulation heat. Okay, so I think I'm going to make a cloth duster for now, and then when my crafting is up high enough, I can make a mega sloth wool one. I think that's going to be my plan. So now, yep, I got the power grid all set. So I'm going to reinstall the batteries inside like this. Yes, it'll be uglier, but it'll break down less. Will break down less because I believe it still is the case that batteries break down when they're overheated. And I need to go for that Mega Sloth wool soon. I don't want to leave it out there to decay. Alright, so let's go grab half of it now and another half in another trip. I'm getting pretty lucky here. Famous last words, I think, but I don't know. I feel, yeah, I can get the rest in one more trip. Feel pretty secured. I downed a Scyther without getting hurt. I got some Mega Sloth wool. I haven't had any terrible happen. No blight. I do have 300 potatoes. You know, I have enough for 30 meals, which should last me about 3 weeks. Oh. So I no longer have a food source for Valentina. What I think I'm going to do is set her up to be unrestricted. I mean, it would be nice if she could haul, but it's more important that she eats. So she's now just going to eat the thrombo meat, because I'm not going to set her up to be trained by anything else. Just obedience and rescue is fine for now. I'm surprised I got so many marble chunks from the very little amount of mining I did. And an escape pod. Okay. Psychopath, but incapable of violence. Yeah, that makes sense. Animals. So let's keep Valentina out of the thrombo meat, because we now have a new source of food. Very dark of me to say, but it's true. Another thing I need to look at is to make sure that all the overhead mountain here, which there is a significant amount of, has some sort of stool or something like that, preventing hive spawns. Alright, go to sleep. As soon as Kay dies, I'm going to want to snatch her up. She's going to die real soon. She had a tattered t-shirt, so not worth running out there to strip her first. Alright, she's downed. So once I have my breakfast... Oh. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna make a go for it, but I have to be careful, because I had food poisoning, so I can't let my, heat stroke get up very high. So I gotta watch that closely. I should be able to... I'll be fine. I have until about 40%. So cutting it closer than I probably should have, but, you know, not terrible. It's worth the trip is worth the, you know, the danger of, because now I can feed Valentina better. Eventually I should be cooking amateur. Yeah, I mean, I think at 6 maybe I stop poisoning myself constantly. I think. So, I mean, the chance goes down, right? Some more redundant power grid. Oh, I had 2 components here I just didn't even know about. Huh. Guess I wasn't paying enough attention. Pirate merchant. Alright, let's see what we can sell them. Not much. Oh, because the thing is off. Yeah, that would do it. Alright, so we can still chain shotgun? Jesus, that sounds dangerous. Wow, I like the new weapons. I really do. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we absolutely can't buy anything off of them. Can't afford anything and there's nothing to sell, so. Alright, so no roof area. So all of what we mined out so far. Is that true? Let me double check. All but, alright, so okay. So we need, it's gonna be annoying. Marble. So that is to prevent hive spawns. There goes my surplus of marble. But I suppose that gets my construction skill up. I'm a 9 now. I started at like a 3. Worse things have happened. What I need is another exotic goods to sell the Scyther blades. And yeah, that'd be nice. I'll dream about that. Yep. So the installation is working. I can see just from here. Outside it's 181, and in this sort of vacuum chamber it's 147. So it's cooler. There. I've lost my heat stroke, which is good. I mean, not my heat stroke, my food poisoning. So, not running the risk of passing out so easy. And eventually what I want is a whole chamber around the periphery of the farm. We'll keep the farm cooler. And if I replace this door with a steel auto door, it also keeps me a little safer. Because then I have this inner chamber which is all sort of protected. More or less. Plus, it gets my mining skill up. That way, when I want to mine steel out in the real world, I mine a bit faster. So I'm about to hit level 6, which is nice. 6, I feel, is like sort of average. You know, practitioner. It's like someone that's just decent at it. You know, because higher is a skilled practitioner. It's like 6 is like a hobbyist in my mind. Alright, so let's see where I have to no roof it. So everything so far back here has to have stools. That's a lot of stools. See, the thing is, because it's overhead mountain, mostly, it's all but this square overhead mountain, there is supposed to be somewhat of a max heat that the overhead mountain can have. So the overhead mountain dissipate heat, which means my farm will have an even easier time cooling off. So for everyone that was like, oh, build into the overhead mountain, oh, not food poisoning again. Build into the overhead mountain because it's cooler. Living under an overhead mountain is dangerous, but using it as your chamber like this is probably the best way to go, because I have all the advantages of the cooling properties of an overhead mountain. Because like, look, it's bandit camp, you know. It is 117 in there and 160 outside. It's much cooler in this gap chamber than the outside, and that way my farm doesn't have to fight against such a hot temperature. And that was the purpose of this overhead mountain. Oh, sweet. So this isn't overhead mountain anymore. Okay. Character can't decide what it wants to do, running back and forth. Guess I can lock you in there so you finish the job. That also means that I need a, yeah, let me double check my work. Yeah, alright, that's right. That also means I need a hell of a lot of marble blocks hewn for the stools. So I really don't want to mess around with the hives, if I can help it. So yeah, there's a 40-degree difference now. And I can even triple up a wall here, which will help a little bit. And I could triple up a wall there as well, although that cuts into my power grid area. I'd rather be able to kill box at that point. Alright, so I got a battery that broke and a mechonoid raid at the same time. I'm going to ignore the battery. Just get ready for the raid. Fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. Alright, I'm gonna slow time down a little bit. It's in range. No meal. It's not using, oh, it's hurting this turret bad, but it's not using the, oh, I saved it. It's not using the chunks as cover this time. So it should be easier to kill. Yeah, I can hear it taking hits after hits. These pillboxes work as long as I've manned them in time. They are pretty useless if I don't have them turned on and set up in time, though. Alright, so... Nope. I don't care that you're hungry. I'd rather have a dead Scyther than you properly fed. Alright. Let's lock you out so that you eat this here. And that seemed to work. And let's get a few oh, it's already down. Alright, wonderful. again with the success. And like before, I'm just going to leave them wiggling around, because I don't want it to add to my net worth just yet. Oh, looks like I have potatoes that are ready. Once I get my joy up, I'll be a potato farmer. What happened to this potato? I don't remember. But I'm going to cut it early, just so that it's uniformly growing with everything else. Because it was only 8-9%. It's not a big deal. Alright, 2 Scyther raids. So it looks like human invaders are sort of done. I'm not getting any more. Everyone that comes at me seems to be a Scyther. Don't know why, but that pattern seems to have held pretty thoroughly. Now let's sow the rest of these potatoes. I guess repairing the walls next in order. Man, I've never had to repair sandbags in real life, but I can't imagine it's fun trying to, like, I don't even know how you, like, what, shove sand back into a bag? It actually almost doesn't even make sense. Alright, so when you make marble blocks, just drop them. It's not like you can make this room any uglier. This turned into a much larger project than I had anticipated, but the temperature gradient between my gap wall on the outside is pretty great. I mean, look, it's used to be about 100 degrees in here, now it's about 80. That's a pretty serious difference, not to be underestimated. I feel like my character's always hungry. So I've got a little less than half of my stools made. I'll feel better when all the stools are made, because if I had infestation swarm in this gap here, I guess I could use what little wood I have and light fires to cook them. But that'd be a pretty bad use of my my wood, I think. Especially given I can just do what I'm doing now and avoid that whole problem before it even starts. Once I'm done with that, I'll smooth out all of the rough stone here to try to pretty up the insides. I might want to put the potatoes elsewhere. I'll put a stack here and then put the rest in general storage. Because what is ugly here? The batteries are ugly. Crafting table's ugly, but the potatoes are extra ugly. I don't know. I'll think about it. Another mechonoid. Jesus, I really need to get smithing going. Okay, so let's get ready immediately. That guy will get bored of breaking that wall. I think. Well, good job. You broke the wall. Where are you going? You're attacking the solar generator? Perfect. Try to get a better angle on this thing. You know what? I'll just do this. Why? I mean, why not, right? Alright, that worked. It's ghetto. just build a wall behind them. Another one down with blades. Well, that could have gone a lot worse, so I'm happy it ended the way it did. The mechonoid picked like the stupidest part to even attack, because it's not even a section of wall that gets him inside. Well, that's a weird priority. Leave the turret on. Guess I could fix that myself, right? It's kind of my responsibility. Alright, it's doing it now. More cargo pods. Neutroamine. I thought that was I don't know why I thought that was chem fuel initially, but I was like, wow, that's a teeny little bit of chem fuel. But neutroamine, no, that's not bad. I can make med supplies or drugs or something with it. I don't have drug research, but when I do, it will be a welcomed addition. So making these blocks really is not getting my crafting skill up very high. I've noticed. Like, alright, I'm at 1342, and crafting one set of blocks probably not even get me up to 14. Oh, is this construction? I thought this was crafting. No, it's just generic. It's not even, it's just a task. It's not even crafting anymore. I'm pretty sure it used to be, but I guess that changed. Alright, so it's midwinter. 187 out in midwinter. But wow, the difference, temperature difference, like 190 to 137 between the gap and the outside. That is pretty awesome. And what I think I might do is create a door here and a door there, so that this inner gap is super cold and this is less cold. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'll leave that to be opened. Oh wow, there goes your head. Lost your head. But I suppose when I wake up, I'm going to go get that neutroamine before I forget about it, because it's not a very large item. It's easy to miss on a map. I could, seeing that it's winter, maybe it is worth mining. I think that's a better use of my time, because it's cooler out, so I can survive it longer. So I'm going to do that. It's 164, because it's 3 in the morning. Oh, let me get some more steel. And I'm level 6, which is good. Yields me a little bit more steel per node. I was getting 27, 28 before, and now I'm up to 31. Every little bit counts. Alright, that's enough. And I lost the heat stroke, so I'm going to go back out to the steel. Oh, what are you doing? Cooking? No, I want you mining. Now it is warmed back up because it's day, so I'll probably only be able to get 2 nodes. No, it looks like I'll be able to get 3. But I'll probably only go for 2 because I'm at a break risk. I don't want to have a mental break while outside. That would definitely be the end of me. Oh my goodness. 2 of them too? You serious? Oh, Jesus. Alright, here we go again. And flick. Good, I really caught it. What are you doing? There we go. I would repair, but I'm really trying to down this first one first, fast. Oh, and it worked. Pays off. Oh, man, I really need to get machining clearly. These Scythers are now flooding in. I don't want to stand where it's shooting. Alright, downed. Wow, this pillbox design, you know, I was a naysayer. I thought it sucked at first, but it is doing some work here. Man, if I ever have anyone that wants to buy Scyther blades, I have cornered the market. I've got the monopoly on Scyther blades. Alright, how's our heat stroke? Our heat stroke's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Scythers. Wow. Game. I am playing on extreme, but it did not occur to me that the game was gonna try to perpetually murder me. That was not an assumption I had made. I am wrong. I do need to set up a better kill box for those Scythers. There's a lot of, I mean, this works for now, but there's a lot of improvements that could be made to this setup to sort of streamline it, keep myself more protected, improve it. So I'll be looking to do that. Alright, so it is 6. Oh, cooler broke down. 6 in the morning, so I'll get some mining done. Stockpile on that steel. So even with one broken cooler, with the improvements I've made to my insulation, I managed to keep the farm a reasonable temperature. Granted, it is winter, but it is winter and still 176 out. That's pretty telling about how awesome this method is. That I can, one cooler cools down that whole space. That's not bad. And only a few more stools left to craft up. I only need, what, like 20, so 15, 30, 60 and change. So 4 more cut blocks, or 3 more now. So Valentina has eaten the whole of that corpse now, which means probably allowing her to, I'll probably set her to home. I don't want her wandering too far. What does my home look like now? Get rid of this. I don't really care if the graves burn. Get rid of that. Alright. So this is the last chunk I'll need for a bit. Until I improve the kill box, I guess. Alright, so let's get some of the last of these stools built. Get that door built. Oh, I guess I'll need a few more chunks for that door. You know, the difference of that door is not gonna, it's not that big of a deal. But you'll be able to see the temperature difference just between these two zones, which is the overhead mountain zone and the roof thin zone. It is about a 10-ish degree difference. So that means the inside here is being kept at 70, which is awesome. I mean, it's not 70 right now. It's climbing a little bit higher, but wow. I mean, is that ever a difference? So much easier to cool my stuff down. Big, big, big improvements here. Alright, I guess if you want to mine, I'm not gonna stop you. I need the steel. Oh, potatoes rotting away in storage. I don't understand what's going on with that. Oh, spoils in 8 days? Okay, I understand. They're just old potatoes. Alright, let's cook them up. So I think what I'll do is, because Valentina is gone, I will set this to critical for simple meals, and we will cook up a stack of meals. Oh, don't put them there. Fuck. Alright, fine. Alright, what I'll do is I'll expand the stockpile and cook up 20 meals to keep in there, using the potatoes that we're going to spoil. I guess they're old. I guess what I need to do is I need to prioritize older stacks of potatoes so I don't lose any. 75, I mean, it's not terrible. It's 7.5 meals, but like, I'd rather have that, obviously. now. Put that back down to like 4. Alright, so that worked. I'll have some frozen meals, so I won't have to cook for a while. Pretty minimal damage to the external walls during that Scyther attack. And I think I'll be able to get all these stools done by the end of this hour. We're coming up on about 56 minutes now. All in all, a pretty ridiculously productive and somewhat violent episode here. At this point, it looks like I have a chance. Like, I'm starting to make some good furniture. So, honestly, at this point, it would be worth my time to have another attempt at a bed, I guess. I don't have a lot of wood, but this is a 85% rest effectiveness bed. And if I could get a good bed, I mean, I'm only going to try once, but if I could get a good bed, my god, would that be helpful. How close am I to getting level 10? I'm close, but not that close. I mean, I could just assemble and disassemble things, but I'm going to try for it now. After I make one more stool. Well, I did make some poor ones there. But even poor would be better than this awful. Not by much, but, you know, by a little. Alright, so we'll try for a bed. Make sure I don't have any ill effects. And it costs me 35, so it doesn't cost me that much to break them down. Paul. Alright, I'm going to try one more time. Use 4 normal. So 26 wood, so it's like 9 wood per attempt. Normal. Well, normal is 15% better rest effectiveness than what I was running with earlier, so although I would have liked a normal, or higher quality than that. A man can't be picky. I'll crop some stools up for the, actually, let's reinstall this here. So I suspect I'm going to be getting some pretty serious research done in the near future, so. Alright, normal. I think what I'll do is I'll just swap the good ones in. Poor. Alright, so let's uninstall these. Good. And let's find another good. Ooh, superior. Oh, forget that. Do you have any other superiors? No, just goods. Alright, so let's toss a good one in here. Actually, you know what? It probably should be the superior one there. I don't use the butcher table very much. So playing musical chairs here a bit. We'll put the superior one at this table. There we go. The other superior one at the kitchen stove. And the good one at the butcher. I'll have to sleep. I'm a little over an hour, but let me finish this because it'll be annoying to try to pick it up. So that comfort goes way up, as you can see. My character's going to be a lot more comfortable now. And then all I need to do is make one more stool here. And I'm all set, and I have decent furniture for the base now. Alright, so that about wraps up this episode. Man, fraught with violence, but pretty productive. I feel pretty good about this well-insulated, well-protected base. So I thank you all for watching. Drop any comments or feedback that you feel suited for. I try to respond to just about everything. And if you liked it, please drop me a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing so. And I hope to see you guys next time. Adios.